and get right into it. So what we're going to talk about today, guys, is we're going to go over message negotiation. Why are we going to go over message negotiations? Well, the reason we're going over message negotiations is this is one of the secrets. This is one of the keys to getting really good at phone flipping really, really fast. And the reason we do messages is because message negotiation is unlike anything that's ever been out there before. What's up, Matt? What's up, Kethel? Let's see. Sean hopped on. Dave said hi to Dave. Brendan Amrit. Matt, Nathan, Sean, Steve. Ulysses, good to see you here. So when you get really good at message negotiation, this gives you kind of a competitive advantage because most people are so-so at negotiating at best, and they don't take time to improve their skills. We all suck at negotiating, right? We're all born the same. You know, we were all born with no negotiating strategies. Now, you know, Nathan might have been born a little bit better looking than someone else, but for the most part, none of us have any negotiating skills, right? So when you can hone in and get really good on this, you can get people down in price. And the tough people that you can get down in price, the benefit of this is they'll come back to you and not go to anyone else for the most part because the other people can't handle it. They don't know how to talk to them. They just can't deal with it. They just don't know how to get them down in price. So if someone is really kind of aggressive and they go through a few different people and then they find you and you close them, they're coming back to you. You got someone that's loyal, that's bringing you repeat business. I picked up only 4 phones a day. I was kind of slack, and I still did over 500 profit. 3 of them came from repeat business. 2 of them, who knows, all 3 of them. They're all tough. They're all tough, right? They're all tough people, but I know that other people can't handle it, so I'm confident that they kind of keep coming back to me. Oh, I have the math. Yeah, Dave, I mean, I'm pretty good, Dave. I ain't going to lie, man. I'm pretty good at this stuff. I mean, you saw the numbers. I'm going to finish the year at around 600,000 in sales. I'm actually getting paid in another way now, but we'll talk about that later. I got a guy that just puts money into my account, and there's no PayPal or eBay anymore. But we'll talk about that later. I just want to answer a bunch of questions about that. So what we're going to do is a message negotiation. So let's go ahead and break this down. I was just working on that puzzle. I don't know if you guys saw that puzzle or not, but I got a big one we're going to put up tomorrow. That'll be kind of fun. Oh, boy. Amrit says, no eBay fees, spill the beans. All right. I'll share with you guys at the end. It's great. It's great. I got $6,900 and it's like $6,810 that just hit my account today. And there's no fees and there's no hold. It's like and I don't even know what it is. I don't even think it's a wire. I don't even think it's a wire payment because there's usually wires are held for a little bit, and usually there's like a $10 to $50 wire fee. So I'm not sure. I don't even know. All right, guys. So let's dive right into it because I'm all about trying to provide some value. So when it comes to message negotiation, guys, someone tell me something. We're going to break down Kevin's negotiation. Now, Kevin is in the VIP mentorship program that we have. But sometimes their conversations are so good, I just like to use it here. And Kevin, I'll tell you, I looked over the conversation. It's pretty good. There's a few little tweaks, but overall it's decent. So we're going to explain that as well. So where are we at right here? We're going to go here. So someone, when it comes to message negotiation, Nathan asked about a Tinder script. You might have to ask Dave about that. David might have that down a little bit better than me. Maybe the Instagram script. All right. So, guys, when it comes to message negotiation, someone give me some feedback. Someone tell me something when it comes to message negotiation. What are some general rules? What are some guidelines? What are some principles we know, we follow, we adhere to when we're doing message negotiation? Nathan says, I have one as well. Nathan, remind me next week. This one's going to be pretty in-depth. If we have time, we'll do it, though. I mean, I can't get burnt out with message negotiations. If not, we will go over it. I need them as many as you can. Brendan kind of already hitting the ground right. Straight to business. All right? Someone tell me something else. Some laws. The laws of message negotiation. Straight to business. Mirror, that's pretty advanced, but he's right. Mirror the customer. What's the average person's attention span? Only ask information. That's right. We're gonna lead by asking questions, and it kind of gets right to the point. But you're absolutely right. The average person's attention span, according to Ty Lopez, 5-second attention span. And then on top of that, the amount of retention that we have with them is only, yeah, I mean, he's right. It's only about 10 to 20%. So this is how bad it is, right? So, and I think David probably knows this because me and David's been hanging out for, the last 5 years or so. But when I used to work at the car dealership and someone comes in and want to buy a car, I have a lot of their attention on me. If someone comes into the car lot, they first of all they've mustered up the courage to go into the car lot. A lot of people don't understand these micro commitments people have to go to, right? Let me ask you guys a question. Have you guys ever wanted to go to a car lot and look at a car, but you don't because you might leave with it and you're not quite sure if you're in a financial position where you should be leaving with the car today? So I drive by car lots all the time now. I got I think it's still about 90 grand saved up, because I've been paying off the debt, so that was about 10 grand with that. But when someone musters up the courage to walk into the car lot, and they walk in there, their commitment level and their attention span is even though they do have a short attention span, their commitment level to you is very high. They're standing there in front of you. They had to work up the courage to drive into the lot, to park. It's kind of awkward when they walk in. Are they going to get an aggressive person or someone that is persistent, that knows what they're doing, or someone that doesn't know what they're doing? So when you're talking to them, for them to leave the conversation takes a lot, right? If you say something that aggravates them or rubs them the wrong way, or your sales process is not perfect and it's a little slow or a little sluggish, they've actually built up a lot of momentum. So for them to actually say, you know what, we're going to think about it and leave, actually takes up a lot of courage. You probably had to mess up a few times. Nothing wrong if you messed up. I used to mess up all the time. Then you have phone calls. When it's on the phone, their commitment's a little bit less. Still have the 5-second commitment's a little bit less. So it's easier, right? They're still going to respond to you. They're still going to be paying attention to you. But they might be watching what's that weird new movie that's on Netflix that everyone's talking about now on Facebook? Maybe they're watching that a little bit, right? Maybe they're kind of having a conversation with someone. So they're that's right, Bird Box. So they're kind of there, but they're kind of not. Then we have message negotiations. When it comes to message negotiations, guys, their attention span is almost 0%. And it's very easy for them to leave the conversation, because if you say something that aggravates them a little bit or rubs them the wrong way, what can they do? They can just stop responding, right? On the phone, they'd have to hang up. That's kind of social pressure. In the car lot, they'd have to say, all right, we're going to leave. And then if they say that, then they got to deal with the salesperson trying to save it, and it might get awkward, right? All these little issues, right? So because of that, we got to make sure this is a lot of deep psychology when it comes to message negotiation, because if we say something that rubs the prospect the wrong way, or if we say the right thing, but they get in a bad mood and we don't control their emotions, they're going to start to exit the conversation emotionally, and we need to be aware of that. The good news, though, is when you get really good at this, you'll be able to be really good at any other sales conversation moving forward, because face-to-face is easier than this. Phone calls are easier than this. This is the benefit. When you guys spend a couple months, and it only takes a couple months to master this. It only takes a couple months to get really good at this. You'll be able to, you can do any sales job, guys, and make a lot of money. You're pretty much guaranteed to make 80 grand plus a year for the rest of your life. When I was working at AT&T, I was making the same amount as my mom when you factored in the commission, and my mom's got a master's degree and has a job in her field, and me and her were making the same amount per hour when you averaged in my commission. And I was actually working easier, because her job, she had to deal with people all the time. I would, sometimes I'd only deal with people half the day, and I'd just be on my phone the other half. Because when you get good at selling, guys, you can make money forever. Because in a company, doesn't matter how good the customer service is, doesn't matter how good the product is, if there's not a sales professional on the front line pushing the product, none of that other stuff matters. So us sales professionals that get really good at negotiating and selling, we always get paid disproportionate to everyone else and get paid more than everyone else, because we're usually, for the most part, the most important part of the business. So just give me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. I just want to make sure you guys kind of understand how powerful this is. And hey, what's up, Diana? And of course, we are going to dive into the nuts and bolts. I like to do a little theory, a little bit of nuts and bolts training. So all this is correct. Because it's through messaging, guys, we're going to get straight to business. Again, if it's face-to-face, it's going to be a little small talk. It's not face-to-face, though. It's through messaging. They don't want to hear how your day is going. You don't want to ask them how their day is going, straight to business. When you can mirror the customer. The other thing is we're going to lead by asking questions. Then the average person's attention span is 5 seconds, and they have a 10 to 20% commitment level-ish. Sometimes it's a little bit more. So this, again, goes into everything being straight to the point. The other thing is, hey, what's up, Diana? The other thing is the words that we use. What's the reading level? The words that we use, what's the reading level? 3rd grade, right? We don't want to say words that are above a 3rd. Everything we say, a 3rd grader should understand. And the reason for this is, guys, is they don't know what IMEIs are. They don't know what blacklisted is. So you start saying stuff like, I need you to send me the IMEI so I can run it on SIG-W so I can verify it's not blacklisted, right? You say stuff like that, guys, I mean, they're done. You lost them, right? So we got to keep everything real simple. The other thing, guys, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to do something. I've never introduced this before, but simply because you guys know I do this 24/7, so I have breakthroughs. I actually looked at my old script. So I looked at my old script that I made for Next Level a year ago. The stuff we do now, guys, is like way ahead of that. Just because, you know, I do another like 1,000 message conversations every month, and I sometimes look at your guys and critique your guys, so I actually get better. So I start to understand stuff that these small little very micro details that no one else really understands. And I know this. I know this, that there's no one else teaching this stuff because no one has done 20,000 message negotiations like I have. So they just haven't went through the sheer numbers of being able to see these. I just kind of have realizations that improve my message negotiation, which is good because then I can share with you guys. And instead of you guys having to do 2 years of this, you can have the breakthroughs right away. You guys know when we created Next Level, no one was doing 20 grand a month. You guys know that, right? In the beginning of the year, Steve knows this. In the beginning of the year, when we had Next Level, there wasn't 150 people like we have now, but there was like 30, 40 people-ish. No one was doing 20 grand a month. It took like 3 months for someone to hit 20 grand. I think Steve hit 20 grand first, and then it was like a few months later until someone else hit 20 grand. We've had like 10 people now hit 20 grand. Megan and her husband, they did 30 grand last month. So as we consistently get this better information, we all level up together. The other thing is this is a brand new concept. I just kind of made it up. It's called micro steps. So we're going to look at the sales process, and we're going to see what's the next smallest step we need to do to get to the next level. Now, we know in the sales process, the customer reaches out to us. We figure out what they have. We make them an offer. Then we close them, and then we go for the meetup. So this is the 5-part process. In every conversation we've ever had or we will ever have, they have to go through this process. They reach out to us. We got to figure out what they have. We got to make them an offer. We got to close them because we know sometimes we make them an offer and they don't close all the time, and then we go for the meetup. Of course, this is straight from the script. So our job, of course, is to see where we are in this process and what's the most effective, direct way we can go from one step to the next step, because simply going through these steps quickly with nothing else changing will help us close more customers because this is the process they want to go through. So if you take me way back a year and a half ago when I bought David's program, what I used to do, right? And the reason I'm able to teach some of this stuff is I used to make a lot of these mistakes, is I would figure out what the customer had, and then I was too nervous to make an offer because I'm too nervous they're going to reject me. So I would stay at this step, and I'd say, well, do you have the original charging cable that it has? Or how many pictures have you taken with the phone? Or if you were to guess, what's the battery percentage? And lo and behold, guys, when I started saying stuff like that, they started to get aggravated with me because I wasn't going to the next step. And by the time I made them an offer, they were so pissed off at me, they were seeing the offer through that aggravated, irritated lens of aggression. And because of that, they wouldn't accept the offer. I lost deals that I could have gotten just by not moving through this process. So this is why we have the process. So if you get the 3 things you need, then you go to the next step. And Aaron, I'm a little nervous. That's okay. I get nervous too, but you make the offer anyway. So micro steps, guys, is figuring out, instead of going from here to here, it's figuring out you might be on this little dot right here, and it's going to the next dot. Oh, no, let's see, that's weird, right? I tried to make a good analogy, guys. So it's kind of like, what do we need to do to go from here, this one little small step, to this one little small step, to this one little small step, to this little one step. So we're leading the conversation at the same time, we're being persistent, but we're not being pushy and we're not getting ahead. So I'm going to give you guys the analogy. I'm going to show it on mine, and then we're going to get into Kevin's. So if you're here, guys, and you jump here, that you won't necessarily lose those deals every time, but it's not as smooth. It gets a little rocky. We need to figure out what we need to do to get to the next step. So I'm just going to, before I break down Kevin's, which is I'm glad he posted that. I just want to show you guys. This is one that I did. So I'm going to show you guys kind of micro steps on this. So this is a guy, guys, he came from a Craigslist lead because, yes, guys, I do still get deals from Craigslist, even though I love all the other platforms. So what happened was, this was a Craigslist lead. He came in. We met up. I asked him what else, if he had anything else for sale. Said his wife might have a phone. I said, all right, let me know. I'll meet up with you and buy the phone today. So when I left the meetup with him, I sent him a message right away and it said, hey, let me know what you decide on, if you and your wife decide to sell the phone, I'd love to buy it. So I followed up with him, which is the tip. As soon as I left the interaction, I followed up with him. It's important to do that, to let him know that I wasn't BSing, right? Because sometimes what happens is people say stuff when they're face-to-face with you, and then they're not serious. So like whenever I leave interactions now, I always message the person and I say, hey, thanks so much for selling me the phone. It's a great phone. I was serious about what I said. If you get any other phones, let me know. So it's kind of a reminder. So I said that to him. He said, all right, sounds good. And we kind of went back and forth, and about an hour went by. So I said this. So any word on the phone? See, so I'm re-engaging the conversation. Now I'm going to try to get you guys to understand these micro steps. So what if I said, this? Any word on the phone, I can meet today. You guys see how this is? Well, first of all, that exclamation mark shows neediness, so we wouldn't want that. But you guys can see how this is moving. This is too far ahead than where he is. You want to think, where is the prospect at in their head in the negotiating process, and what's the words I can say to get to the next micro step? So you guys see how I can meet today is a little pushy. It shows a little neediness, and they're not there. They're not there yet. It wouldn't make sense to see this. I want to first get confirmation of the phone, and then we're going to move forward. So I just want you to see kind of the micro steps in this. I'm still waiting to see, right? So I don't say, again, with this, I wouldn't say, if I said, he says he's still waiting to see. All right, great. Just let me know. I can meet you at the same spot. Again, guys, this is too far ahead of the interaction. It's a micro steps. I want to get confirmation of the phone first before I go into any of that. I know he's willing to sell me the phone. He knows I'll meet him today in cash. No need to say that anymore. I say, all right, cool, just let me know. Now, this phrase right here, guys, means let me know, LMK. I met up with him, guys. He was around my age, and I could tell that he understood a little bit. What is this called? Abbreviations or slang? I don't know, whatever it is it's called. So I use that with him, right? If I was meeting up with, someone that instead of they were 25, instead of they were, 65, I probably wouldn't say, let me know. I would say probably something like, sounds great, comma. Just let me know when you get an update, or something a little bit more formal. So I adjust the words I say to mirror, the type of person I'm interacting with. He said, no problem. You guys see what else is here, right? This is a question, third grades. I'm only saying a few words. Count the words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys see that? Then he messages me. It's about an hour later. She has a brand new one. I think it's 64 gigabyte though. So what we're going to say is, we are going to say, let me go back to the screen right here. All right, cool. Would you do 480 since it's the 64 gigabyte one? Now, I guess I could have gotten confirmation that it was, I could have tried to get confirmation, but this one I'm just kind of assuming. And then you guys see what I'm doing. I'm offering a price. This price was lower because his was 256, and I'm making the excuse. You guys know this from the script, right? Or from I don't even know if this is fully outlined correctly in the script or not. But it is usually compliment, excuse, offer. Now, I don't have to compliment it because it's just not needed at this point. But I'm saying, all right, cool. Well, I guess that is kind of compliment. That's showing intent. Would you do 480? Right? So I'm asking for a lower offer since it's 64 gigabytes. So you guys see that? I'm not saying, would you do 480? That's not good. Would you do 480 since it's 64 gigabyte? The excuse of why the offer is lower is because the gigabyte's lower. You guys see that? And again, this is a question. Again, third grade reading level, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, that's 8 words, right? So simple, right? If you're sending paragraphs or even a couple sentences, that's not good unless you have to. When you get to the first objection and you use it's a great phone because I buy and sell that's the most effective way to do it. But this is not needed. I'm trying to make sure. I said, okay, cool. Just let me know when you find out. And again, guys, you see what I'm doing? I'm always pushing for, you guys see how I keep saying, let me know when you find out? So I'm not being too needy, but I'm pushing for the meetup. I'm trying to get to the next step. I'm saying, let me know, let me know, let me know, shows that I'm interested. When you show that you're interested, guys, it shows that you're serious. He's getting the thing. All right, this person's serious. Guys, this was on New Year, Thanksgiving, or Christmas Eve. It was on one of those, right? Whichever one was a couple days ago. So it shows that even though it's at 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve, I'm serious. I keep saying, let me know. If I just said, all right, cool. That's fine. No, I want him to let me know, right? I'm keep pushing for the next step or pursuing. He says, okay, can you do 5? Now, guys, what is the rule? Guys, this phone was brand new. I sold this sucker to a direct dude for, I made $220 on it at 500. So I'm totally happy to do 500, right? I made, at 500, guys, I make 220. At 480, I make 240, right? Who cares? So I'm happy to do 500. But what's the rule of thumb we know when it comes to, what's the rule of thumb that if before we accept a higher offer, if we're okay accepting it, what's the rule of thumb before we accept the offer? Chris Kripe says, make him work for it. Uh-oh, we got Mr. Guys, Chris Kripe, guys, did $20,000 like the last, well, it was like a week ago. He did 20 grand in the last month. He doesn't have a car. He gets people to come to him. Did $20,000. This business works. Right? You want to make him work for it. Joseph says, you ask a question. Correct. We want to ask a question so we don't seem interested. Because here's the problem. Them. Can you do 5? Us. Sure. Them. Actually, I need 520. Right? If you agree to the price without making them jump through a hoop, without making them answer a question, then they're like, dang, this is what they're thinking. Shit, if he did 5 right off, I know he'll do 520. Shit, maybe he'll do 550. So what you do is you make him, Nathan says you want him to whistle. So you want him to work a little bit. So what we say is we ask a question. So I'm going to say, you said it was in great condition, right? Something like that that's easy for them to answer before I accept the 5. That way I don't seem too desperate. Right. This guy, David, you might know him. Right? Guys, this is a guy. He's trying to get in the phone flipping, but he doesn't want to get a course. So I'm like, I don't know what's up with that. All right, cool. Just let me know when you find out. All right, can you do 5? So I say, you said it was brand new, right? So feel the tone. You said it was brand new, right? And he's going to say, yes, sir. I said, yes, that's fine. So you guys see that? Just putting that little question and making him answer it. Now when I agree to the 5, he's like, wow, all right. I got him to move a little bit and give me 5. Let me not try to get more. You guys see that? If you just say yes right off the bat, there's issues with it. They're going to want more. I said, when are you trying to meet? So we agreed on the price. Now what's the next step? The next step is to go for the meetup, right? When are you trying to meet? I used to do the time and the place, but it's 1 now. I do 1, right? I do 1 and then I do the other. When are you trying to meet? He says, okay, now. I said, all right, cool. Same place as before. So again, notice these are micro steps. And remember, guys, this all came from Next Level. All came from Aaron, all right? Micro steps. That's fine. When are you trying to meet? So now I'm going to the meetup part, right? This was the price. Yes, that's fine. Now it's for the meetup. I don't say thanks for your business. I'm so happy. We're going to go right to the next step. When are you trying to meet? Because again, I think it was like Brandon said, all business. I thank him for his business when I meet up with him. I make small talk when I meet up with him. I kind of, let him know I buy more phones when I meet up with him. Through messaging, all business. When are you trying to meet? So I'm going to lock down the time. He goes, okay. Now. All right, cool. Same place as before? I don't say let's meet at the same place as before, because what if that's not convenient and it creates some tension? I'm leading guys by asking questions. Asking questions. Same place as before? He says, yes, sir. I said, all right, sounds good. I'm on my way now. I'm 7 minutes away. He goes, me too. I said, all right, I'm here. He goes, give me 3 minutes. Sounds good. He pulled up. So you guys see it? You guys see that? Those are micro steps. Everything was very, you guys feel how nothing was rushed? Nothing felt rushed in that conversation at all. However, I controlled the entire thing, and I was persistently moving it to the next step by following up. You guys see that? There was no confusion. There was no neediness. There was no me talking too much. It was very smooth. However, it's my job, it's our job as phone flipping professionals to move it to the next step. So give me like a 2 in the chat if you kind of see that. If you see that and you understand what these micro steps are. What's the next little small commitment, the next little small step I need to move the conversation forward? All right, fantastic. No, Nathan, I'm not asking him out. But no problem. So let's see. Hey, what's up, Darius? You guys see that? Darius, $2,300 in profit on Christmas. It's pretty good, guys. All right, where are we at? Where is Mr. Kevin at? All right, Kevin, so we're going to break this down. Now, guys, we went through it. We've already been through a half an hour, so I'm going to speed this up just a tad bit, but we're still going to get some good stuff. So Mr. Kevin T says, I saw your ad on Craigslist. So is this like a message? This is like first time responding to you, Kevin? This is like the first time he's made point of contact. He goes, hello, saw your ad on Craigslist. Kevin says, okay, nice. What model is it? All right, Kevin. So let's talk about what I like. I like the okay, nice, right? Because he's saying hello. So Kevin's kind of mirroring that. Kevin's saying, all right. The guy said hello. So to be honest, I would have just said hello. I would have said hello. And then see how you're saying, what model is it? That's almost a little bit too forward. So I would have said, hello, have a phone for sale? You guys see how this is? This is like, I don't even know the best way. I'm trying to explain it. I just kind of came up with the micro steps like earlier today, right? But you see how this is just a little bit smoother? Have a phone for sale. We want to get them to say yes and get this micro commitment before we move forward. Asking what model is it? It's like it's kind of like too far in the conversation. We want to start from where they are, and then we want to move forward from there. So does that kind of make sense, Kevin? I do like, though, how you led by asking a question, right? With that said, right, you did lead by asking a question. It was only 6 words, so it was pretty short, and I like the okay, nice. But this is just a little bit smoother, right? This is kind of like we're not there yet in the interaction. So I'll teach you just guys something very, very advanced right here. Amit says, I would say, hello, what do you have for sale? Absolutely. See, and that's fantastic as well. Now, most of my ads are for phones, so I usually just say phones. But what I'm saying is absolutely correct. And sometimes some of my ads, if it's like an ad from Letgo, and the ad on Letgo says like, I buy all electronics, which I probably wouldn't make because then I get some mouses. But if it was an ad from that, I would say, hello, have something for sale. If it's a phone ad and I can, Craigslist, we can't really track it. But if it's like a Letgo ad and it's saying iPhones, I would say, hello, comma, have an iPhone for sale. So you can actually tweak it a little bit based on the ads. Sometimes we have ads we put up that just go after specific items because it's more honed in, and it's just good to mix up general and honed in. So if I had an ad that said, hey, I buy Apple Watches, and someone said, I'm interested in this item, I would say, awesome, comma, have an Apple Watch for sale, question mark. So you guys see how you can actually, you can tweak the first sentence to where you catch them right where they're at to where it's very smooth moving forward. But I mean, I'm right. What you're saying is absolutely true. I just wanted to make that point for everyone. Dan Kennedy, guys, who's one of maybe the best kind of copyright writers and salespeople in the world, he says the number one issue that salespeople make and all business people make is they start too far into the interaction. They'll have like someone come in, you know, someone will come into the, someone will come into the phone store and they immediately think they want to buy a phone. They don't know that a lot of times the person's starting way before. They think that, oh, because someone came to the phone store, they want to buy a phone. They don't know that the person's nervous. They got 1,000 questions. So the amateur would say, hey, welcome to the phone. Welcome to AT&T. Are you looking to buy a phone today? The professional, or what I would say is I'd say, hey, welcome to AT&T. What brings you in today? Oh, we're just shopping around for phone plans. All right, fantastic. Do you have service with someone now? Yeah, we do. Awesome. Who do you have? Sprint? Okay, cool. Is there a reason you're standing in the AT&T store, and not in the Sprint store? Yeah, we're actually not happy with their service and shopping around. You guys see what I did there? You see the words that I said? I started where they were at. I started all the way back. I started right where they were at, and then my leading questions, I'm able to warm them up, and that's why I was like the top rep in Missouri or whatever it was. My commission check was double the second top salesperson in the store because I started where they were at. I started all the way back, and then I kind of worked my way from there. Chris says, I found a problem. Absolutely right. By finding the problem and the pain, I now got some leverage, right? And then, of course, I'm leading by asking questions. So, all right, so I would say, hello, have a phone for sale. So now, but let's see, right? Just because this isn't like a big thing, Kevin. It's just something, but it is kind of like an issue. It makes it a little rocky, but that doesn't mean we're going to lose the deal. He goes, Samsung S9. Awesome. What condition is it in? Love it, love it, love it. So we say the word awesome because it's positive. Okay, nice. And I do like this. I like that. What condition is it in? I like to ask any problems with it. However, I would say that what condition is it in gets the same point across, and I would say they're both equal. So I think that's perfect. Awesome. What condition is it in? We're getting right to the nuts and bolts. It's in good condition, but do you unlock phones too? So, guys, here's an issue, right? He's saying unlock phones. I get people that say this all the time. So what we want to do with this is we want to acknowledge it and say no, as we're nice, and then we want to control the conversation and get back to the phone. So let's see what Mr. Kevin said. I just buy and sell as is. All right, let's see what you said after this. You said, I just buy and sell as is. Smartphone, electronics, motorcycles, cars, and home. Hey, so Kevin's doing the whole thing. I might not even bring up this other stuff because he's kind of on smartphones now, and you bring up this other stuff, and it's almost kind of like a distraction. He's focused just on phone now, and then you kind of bring up this other stuff. I had a question about, I don't even know if I should tell you guys this. I had a question about a different type of business, and I messaged this guy yesterday on Facebook who he was doing this other type of business, and I'm interested in this other business. And he goes, oh, I got this other thing I'm doing too. You should check out this Forex thing. It's some Forex. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. And he said that. I'm like, I don't really care about that. I'm thinking about this thing. I'm on number one, and now you're bringing up number two. So it's good to just have one idea, right? Now, when I met up with them, right, I would say, hey, what else you got for sale? Because I know you buy the motorcycles, and I know you're pretty good at that, Kevin, and that's kind of like a skill that you have. And, you buy the homes, right, doing some wholesale, which is all totally cool. But we want to keep it on one thing. So what I would say is, you say, I just buy and sell as is. I'm going to say it a little bit. We would say something like, unfortunately, I don't unlock at the moment. I just buy them. All right, let's see how we word this. Unfortunately, I don't unlock at the moment. I just buy them. And I like to say the word unfortunately, right, guys? I say this a lot. I say unfortunately. I say I'm sorry. So it makes it seem like I kind of feel bad, right? It's kind of because, all right, so here's the thing. People have these big egos, right? People got these big egos that no one's aware of. So if you don't like, with certain people, if you don't like saying fortunately or apologize to them, even for something that's not your fault, or you just brush off a question, sometimes they'll feel rejected and they'll put a bad taste in their mouth. So I'm always kind of saying, I'm sorry, I wish I did. Unfortunately, I don't unlock at the moment. I just buy them. And then I probably would have said, are you okay just selling the S9? So let's look at why this is good. Unfortunately, I don't unlock them at the moment. I just buy them. So we're saying, unfortunately, it's nice. Are you okay just selling the S9? Now, what's this doing right here? I'm getting them back on track to talk about the S9. I don't want to go into outer space. We're talking about the S9. And then I'm also, though, doing a micro commitment and seeing if they're okay just selling it. Because if they're like, well, no, to be honest with you, I really need to get it unlocked, then there's no need to kind of move forward. They're probably okay just selling it, or they want to message you. You guys see that? So this is like really good right here. You guys see why this is like, this would be the perfect thing to say. It acknowledges their thing. It says the word unfortunately, which kind of makes you seem kind of empathetic. I'm asking a question, and I'm getting them back on track and letting them say, yeah, I'm okay with just selling it. That way I'm kind of doing these little micro commitment things. So let's see where we're at now. Now, what they would have said here is he would have said, or she would have said, yes, I'm okay selling the S9. And then we would have said, great, what company was it with? Now, let's see what Mr. Kevin said. I just buy and sell as is. Now, let me see the times. So I guess I just buy and sell as is, and you see everything. See, this is kind of confusion. This is like too much. I would have left this out. And then you say, great, what company was it with? And you guys see that's not very smooth, right? It's not very smooth. When you get better at going step by step, it'll just make it smoother, right? And again, Kevin, I know you didn't do 20,000 message negotiations, so I don't expect you to be at this level yet. But you guys see why the words that I'm saying, it's smoother, it's more control, it's just a little bit better. I see what you're trying to do though, Kevin. It's not bad. I mean, it's still decent, but this just makes it a little bit smoother. And then you're saying, great, what company is it with? They're just kind of throwing it out there. We always kind of want to be where they're at, and then we want to be moving them along with us. If we get to step number 4, but they're kind of on step number 2 or 3, and they don't see how we got to step number 4, there's a disconnect, and it's not as smooth. We always want to be saying the words that move them along mentally with us. The words we say should move them along mentally through the 5-part process, and have them be exactly where we're at and understand how we got to that point smoothly. Where it says, lead by questions to get to the phone, would you add as is after the S9? Not sure what you mean by that, Amrit. He says sprint. Right? So he's still kind of there with you, though. Kevin, I mean, he's still there with you. He goes, I got 3 of them. And then I see what you did here. It looks like the time's the same. So it looks like you typed that just as he said that. It said, fantastic. I can give you $140 for it. I love that. I love the offer. I mean, it's fantastic. I can give you the dollar amount for it. It's a solid offer. I know what these go for. So that's, yeah, it's Sprint. Sprint S9s, they don't go for anything. So solid offer, decent price. I mean, that's very good. He goes, wait, 3? I love how you said that. You said, wait, 3? I might have said, wait, you have 3 of them, but I like that. You said, wait, 3, so it's kind of getting him to, it's acknowledging him that he threw something else in there, and he says, yes. So I like how you said that. You didn't wait for him to say it. You caught that. That was very good. I love that. Sealed or open box with stickers, right? So I understand what you were doing there, Kevin. Most of the time when someone has a few new phones at once, there's a high chance that they're brand new, and if they're brand new in the box, we can obviously – the ones that are brand new in the box do appraise a little bit higher. So I do see what you were doing with that, and I do ask those questions sometimes myself. He goes, I switched company from Sprint to AT&T, and I called Sprint to see what I can do with the phones, and they told me to return them back since my account was closed, and they will send me a box to return them. But it's been like 7 months already, and they keep calling to tell me the same thing, and I never got the last bill or anything. I kind of like this. Why do I like this, guys? Why do I like this? Why do I like it? I like this because for someone to type a lot like this, he's committed, right? He's fairly committed to the conversation, or he would have just typed you a big paragraph. So regardless of what he's saying, I like the frame he's coming from. That's right. Brendan says shows investment. He's telling the story. And it almost seems like he's a little aggravated, right? He's a little aggravated about the process. And he wants to get rid of that for some of that cash, money. Fantastic. I would have said, Oh. No worries, I understand. I love saying this. This is my favorite thing to say. Whenever they tell me a big story, even if I don't understand it, I always say, no worries, I understand. Fantastic is almost kind of like we want to say some words here to kind of empathize with them a little bit more, to let them know that we read it and we understood it and we see where they're coming from. And I always say this, no worries, I understand. Guys, this is my favorite line to see. They could tell me the whole story, and I couldn't understand the story about how this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. No worries, I understand. No worries, I understand. I mean, if they were leased, we'd just buy them as lease phones. So I just said, no worries, I understand. All right, guys, what happened with that? Something happened with that. No worries, I understand. All right, we're going to move this back on over here. And we is going to do that. No worries, I understand. I can give you $420 for them. So what we want to say is, no worries, I understand. I can give you $420 for all three of them. Whenever we're making an offer, guys, on multiple items, we always want to include the number in the offer so the offer is clear to the prospect and there's less confusion. Fantastic. I can give you $420 for them, right? It sounds like you're making an offer on all three, but we're not sure. By saying, no worries, I understand, we're kind of sympathizing. We're almost saying by no worries, I understand, we're saying, I appreciate you typing all this out for us. I can give you $420 for all three of them. We want to say it like this. I can give you $420 for all three of them because it shows it's a clear offer. There's no confusion, right? Confusion's a bad thing. When you have confusion, it hauls the process down. They kind of get negative energy. It's not really good. So, I mean, overall, it's still not bad, Kevin, right? I'm just trying to give you the advanced tweaks. It seems low, but thanks for the quote. Now, Mr. Kevin says, what I like about Kevin, Kevin's doing the follow-up. They're great phones, and I want to buy them. All right, now I like that. I like that. I like that. I like this a lot. So Kevin is showing commitment. He's doing what's called showing intent. He's showing that he's interested. So seems a little low, but thanks for the quote. So the guy's kind of leaving the conversation. They're great phones, and I want to buy them. So he's saying they're great phones, and I want to buy them. I love that. That shows very strong intent. It's very, 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 very good. They're great phones, and I want to buy them. You wouldn't sell them to me. So this is what I would have said, okay? After first offer, we want to get a price they want for them. Very, very important. Very, very important. And I believe this is still from the original script, right? In the original script, they're great phones. Yes, it comes from the original script. The original script, guys, we make an offer, and if they say no before we come back with a counter offer, we want to get a price from them. Why do we want to get a price from them? By getting a price of what we want, it shows commitment. The other thing it does is in order for someone, if someone were to, it shows commitment, and also when someone goes in order for someone to come up with a price, they got to stop. They got to think, all right, how much do I want for them? I'd like $800. I don't care what the dollar amount is. I want $1,000 for them. They say that and they write it out. They're more committed, and it's a number. And then we go from there. So Kevin, I mean, this is good parts from the script, but it's not the correct thing to say, and it's going to push them away. If I were to meet you today and I gave you $420, this is good to say, but we got to get a commitment from them first. So we want to say the first part's great. They are great phones, and I want to buy them. That part, I love that. I mean, that's like spot on. And because he's kind of veering off a little bit, you see how he was kind of cold? He was starting to leave the conversation. I'd even throw something in like, and to be honest, I need some more S9s. So I would have even said another line. The further away they pull out of the conversation, the more intent you show, it will pull them back into the conversation. They're great phones and I want to buy them. And to be honest, I need some more S9s. So this is saying like, I really want them phones right there, right? What are you looking to get for them? So we're going to say this so we can get a price, and then we can go from there. Then we can follow the script, right? Them, $1,000. Us. And then we go into the They're great phones because I buy and sell. We go into that whole thing. Yeah, Kevin, you see how now, Kevin, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna stop critiquing it at this point just because actually I'll go a little bit further. But there's a few little things you need to tweak to kind of make it smoother. But overall, I mean, the conversation is you're doing a lot of things right too. There are some things that need to be tweaked, but you're doing things right. I mean, you're pursuing, you're saying the right words here. They're just kind of not in the right order of the flow of the conversation. This was a really good conversation, though. It was really good. And the reason it was really good is it wasn't like expert status level, and it wasn't also like brand new beginner level. You're doing a lot of things right that we just got to tweak a little bit. So this was a very good conversation to go through. These are the conversations I like going through the most. Let's just see what he says after this. Too low, man. He said, I'm sorry, are they S9 or S9 pluses? So I do like how you're pursuing here. Right? He goes, they're S9, and you're saying, how much were you looking to get for the bundle? See, so I like how you're pursuing, but like this needs to be put up here. And it just needs to be rearranged. He wants the best offer, right? So he's not very committed. Oh, I like this. He's actually following up, right? So he says, and I have iPad 6 Gen. He goes, they're great phones. Right, so you're saying this again. What we need to do is we got to get an offer from him. We got to get a dollar amount that he's happy with and then work it from him. Oh, that's not bad. Good condition. All right, see, so I like that. I like how you keep pursuing. I mean, that's very good. Guys, I had a cousin of mine who I gave access to the next level. I think he's the only one he's the only one I've ever get. And then he actually ended up buying it because we switched over the servers and I wasn't responding to his messages, so he actually ended up buying it just to get access to the training again. But he sent me a conversation, guys, when iPhone X's were like the new thing, right? And I ain't gonna lie, I mean, if you're watching this, buddy, he's gotten significantly better, but when he got started, he knew nothing about negotiating. He sent me a conversation, guys, that was horrible. I mean, it was like nothing was smooth, nothing was nice, but he kept pursuing. This was a conversation. I gotta tell it to you guys. He goes, all right, I'll do $500 for the iPhone X. And the guy was like, no, man, that's too low. I'll pass. And my cousin's like, it's a great phone. I can give you $500. And the guy's like, no, bro, that's too low. I need like at least $750. And my cousin's like, well, it's a good phone. I can do 500. And the guy's like, man, 500 is too low. The lowest I can go is like 680. And my cousin's like, it's a good phone. I can do 500. And the guy's like, bro, listen, man, you're not listening to me. 500 is too low. I'd probably do 600. And my cousin's like, it's a good phone. I'll do 500. And the guy's like, fine, man, fuck, take it. Take it for 500. My cousin made the guy like 8 offers saying the same thing. It wasn't sexy, guys. It wasn't the smoothest thing, but he did the most important rule. And the most important rule is stay in the interaction. Because that's when you'll learn stuff, and that's when you'll learn some deals. I mean, it was like I was cracking up when I saw it, guys. It was beautiful. I mean, it was just fantastic. I would do 500. Great. What's the model for the iPad? All right, now I love this, right? Kevin asked for the model, and we never expect the customer to know what the model is. So he goes, the model number is on the back, and it looks like this. I love that. That is beautiful. I mean, that's fantastic. And I sometimes say that. I'll be like, is there any way you could send me the model number, question mark? If you look on the back, it's toward the middle and the bottom. It's in small print, and it'll say A and then like 4 numbers. That's beautiful. See, so it's just a little bit off. You're saying a lot of the right stuff. It just needs to be switched around a little bit. And one of the ways you'll do it, of course, is just by going through more of the, just going through some more of the training and trying it out. It's like I would have gotten a commitment level. Let's see. Hey. Oh, he wants you to come to his house. So yeah, I mean, Kevin's being persistent. I love that. That is, I mean, it's beautiful. Ken, thanks for the offer. Wait, what the heck? I'm a little lost here. Let's find those two. All right. I like that. I mean, he is pushing for the meetup. All right. People are kind of lazy too. I like that. I don't go to people's houses anymore. I used to, guys. I never do that stuff anymore. Never do any of that. Can you meet me somewhere in India? Let's see. All right. It's just I mean, there's a few things that need to be rearranged, Kevin, but it's, I mean, you were you were pursuing. I love that. I love that. Let's see. So what ended up happening? Did he say anything back, Kevin? He won't answer. No worries. I just hit him up tomorrow. I'd be like, hey, you still got the phones? This is what I would say. So did you guys agree on a price? Did he finally agree to a price? Okay, 500 cash for the S9s. All right. This is what I would do. I'd hit him up tomorrow. Sometimes it can be good, just like it can be good to make an excuse about why you can't do something. Sometimes in a situation like this where we kind of burned it out, we're going to use an excuse to engage the conversation. I hit him up tomorrow. I'd say, I just talked to my boss. I'd say something like this. Hey, I just talked to my boss. You still have those S9s? And then he's going to say yes, because no one's going to go to his house to buy it. And then I would keep pursuing it from there. That's all right, great. I'm a micro step it. Are you in the same place you're at before? Where exactly are you at? And I'll try to figure out like where exactly he's at. If he sends you the address, I would like Google like a gas station or for a $500 transaction, it depends on the gas station, right? A big gas station, maybe. I don't know if I'd do a small one. But I'd Google where he's at, and I'd try to find a place like right close to him. And then I'd start pushing, right? I'd be like, all right, I need these phones. My boss wants me to buy these phones. I got the 500 in cash on me. You know, there's a McDonald's 2 blocks from where you live. Can you meet me there, right? And keep pushing. And if you want me, sometimes you got to push these people to meet in a public place. I've had people where I got to push them like 6-7 times before they meet me. It's weird. Usually they don't, but sometimes you got to push them a few times. And if he doesn't. Because that's still kind of strange, right? It'd be strange to meet and buy, multiple phones at someone's house, especially high-end phones. Yep. But overall, Kevin, that was a very good conversation. What do you guys think? Did you guys learn something from that conversation critique? I mean, it was very good because there was all these different examples that that was very good. I mean, I loved it. I ain't saying that, Kevin, just to make you feel good. I mean, I want you to feel good. I'm saying it because it's true. I mean, that was a beautiful conversation to go through. It was just beautiful. It was very good. I mean, it was very good. It was very, very good. It was really solid. Dan says, thanks for the combo. All right, guys, I got a couple of last minutes. So that's what I got for you guys. We did a couple text negotiations. What other questions do you guys have for me? Yeah, we don't want to go to people's houses, guys. I got a story that would scare the heck out of you guys if I told you a story about. It's very important to meet people in super public places. So we're not even going to go there. You guys don't want to hear it. It's not good. We'll talk about that no eBay and PayPal fees. How to get to 50K. Teasing us, never mind. I mean, I'll tell it to you guys if you want. Nathan got robbed at gunpoint. You guys know I got robbed once too, right? I didn't necessarily. I don't even like to say. I just when by me. Oh, I didn't tell you guys that. I did it on the group chat once. I did get robbed, but it was my fault. I don't even like to say I got robbed. I put myself in a position where it was easy for me to get robbed. Because they had, if it sounds fishy, guys, you don't do the deal. Oh, I didn't tell that to you guys. Yeah, so this person wanted to meet up, and we were going to meet in a public place, and everything was good. And then basically they were like, oh, I don't want to do it in a public place, and they made some stupid excuse. And I felt in my gut something was wrong. You want to go with your gut instinct most of the time, right? Now, sometimes you can be nervous, and that's all. If everything's perfect, you keep moving forward. If they're going to meet in a public place, they're going to meet me inside the casino. I had this one guy, guys. He had 9 XX Maxes, and it scared the hell out of me because it was like a $5,800 transaction, right? But he wanted to meet in a super public place. Everything was fine, so I kept moving forward. I got the phones. They were great. It was 9 of them. I mean, I made just a bunch of money on it, right? But there's other times where there's, like, tough, weird situations. So the other situation, they wanted to meet, like, in the back alley, basically, where no one was there. And a guy opened up the door, and he grabbed me from the back, and I hit the guy like that, and then I took off and I ran. And I had $600 in my car. So they, like, looked through my car and took the $600. I had, like, $2,500 in my pocket. So I guess it was good that they didn't get that, but I mean, I hit him hard and then I pushed out from that. Yeah, so we always meet in public places. Yeah, I mean, everything was good. Yeah, it is a story. No, the other story is even worse. So I had so I only meet in public places now. I mean, I'll tell it to you guys if you want. It didn't happen to me. All right, so there's this guy. You guys know that foreign guy I used to tell you guys about? That he used to sell me phones a lot. So there's this guy sold me a gazillion phones. I've made at least $20,000 working with this dude. And me and him became close. I'm at his house on Thanksgiving. I celebrate his wife's birthday with him and the family. I have dinner at grandma's house. All sorts of, it was great stuff. However, he was a little bit more, he would do stuff that I wouldn't be comfortable doing. He would he would have people get in his car in the corner of the gas station to sell them phones. He wouldn't meet in the public place. He never did bill of sales. I mean, I was with him in times where, like, he would pick someone up that he didn't know, and they would drive to someone's house to buy a phone. So he did, like, very risky stuff that you don't want to do. Business is good. The business is safe when you do it correctly. The business is not safe when you don't do it correctly. Just like squatting, right? When you squat, Chris Krebs squats a lot of weights. When you do it correctly, it's good for you. If I try to squat that many weights, there's no way. I'd probably break my leg. So he ended up, he got himself in a bad situation where these guys got in the back of a car. The guy, it was like late at night. They said they had a bunch of Maxes. They got in the back of the car with him. They held a gun up to his head. They had him drive, and they ended up shooting him. And they killed him. And this was about a month ago. No, it's not good. But when you do everything right, everything's, I was talking to another guy locally in my area that's been buying phones, and the other guy was like, I might stop the business. I'm like, this guy's been buying phones for about 8 years. He had a store. I said, you've been buying phones for 8 years. I said, when you do everything correct, there's nothing to worry about. You've been buying them for 8 years, and this guy buys a bunch of phones. But when you do it correct, so with that story, guys, always remember, we always meet in public places. That's why I don't go to people's houses anymore. It's public places, right? I meet in public places, and now I usually meet inside. Like sometimes I would meet like outside the Walmart. Now it's inside the Walmart. Now it's inside. I mean like inside. It's like super safe. Yeah, I won't be getting repeat business from him anymore. So that's the story behind that. And then the direct once you build really good relationships with some direct wholesalers, you can get them to like wire money or they'll deposit like money right into your bank account. There's this one guy I've been selling to for over a year. We got a good relationship, and I'm at the point now to where like he pays really good for most iPhones. Not all of them. Sometimes his prices are a little bit off, but he basically pays what they would sell for on eBay after the eBay fees. If you're brand new, like Dave M., just ignore all this stuff, right? This is like, just focus on putting up ads or spawning the leads. That's how you're going to make money. I'm at the point now to where like I'll send him the phones and he'll like deposit. He's got like I set up a business account to where just for like payments, and he goes to the bank and he just puts the money directly into the account. So there's no fees at all. The downside is I have to ship all the items to him. So we have to have like a big trust relationship. It's like we got a big trust relationship because I'll sometimes ship him thousands of dollars of phones. He won't deposit the money till he gets the phone. So he could technically screw me over. But I've been selling phones with him it's been well over a year, like a year and a half. And in the beginning, I just started with the small thing, right? One phone, a few phones, and it's, sometimes I'm sending bigger amounts now. So if you got someone like that you build it up with, it'd be something worth considering. But it's nice. It's nice because it's I'm paying $10 to ship the phone, and it's 100% pure profit. So an extra little benefit. But of course, you guys know, I would say if you're not doing 30 grand a month, there's no need to try to do any of that. I didn't start doing this till the end of last month. Last month, I did 85 grand in sales, about 20 grand was profit. And after that, I started doing this a little bit with them. It's like a new thing that we're kind of doing now. So that's what I got for you guys. Well, it was great hanging out with you guys. Now on Monday is like the beginning of the year. It's the new year. So on Monday, we're still going to have a group chat, right? Still Monday. We're going to go over setting yourself up for success for 2019. So we're going to do a whole thing of setting out your goals and basically giving you an outline to hit your goals because everyone has different goals. Some of you guys are crazy and you're going to do, $500,000 like me. Some of you guys are a little bit more chill. You're like, Aaron, if I could just make another $500 to $1,000 a week in profit, I'd be cool with that too. So we're going to go over that because once you get good at this business, you realize it's only a series of actions. You're only a series of actions away from having the results that you want in this business. So we can figure out what your goals are for the year of 2019. We can bring that sucker all the way back and figure out the steps that need to happen in order for you to hit your goals. That way we can start 2019 right like Miss Diana said. That's right, Nathan. So, guys, that's what I got for you guys. It was great hanging out with you. This, of course, will be uploaded inside the back office. You guys go out there, kick some butt, make some money, flip some phones. Any questions you have, post it in the Next Levels group. Any wins? I love seeing your guys' wins, so post that in the Next Level as well. And you guys have a fantastic day. Bye for now.